Chapter 3. Man in the image and likeness of God. What it means that man was created in the image and likeness of our Creator is a most revealing sentence or phrase in the Holy Book. It is a sad commentary that most of those who have come across this phrase do not appear to have given it a second look or thought, taking it for granted as if it does not deserve any consideration beyond its appearance. I say no to this lack of analytical thought exhibited by most students or researcher of the scriptures. If we go back to the book of Genesis of the Bible, we discover that in the cost of creation, animals, birds, and plants were created before man. In fact, man was the last to be created. And in his creation, we see that the biological structures and functions of the first man to be created was similar to that of animals and birds created by fiat. Despite this biological similarities, when it came to the time for the creation of man, a longer process was involved, sure as molding his structure with the dust of the ground, after which God breathed into his nostrils the breath of life, and man became a living soul, as in King James Version of the Bible. What is of interest to us here is that both human and animals also have the same biological structure. Animals also procreate like human beings. What is of special interest here is that the image of God referred to in Genesis cannot be human biology, but simply the spiritual aspect of man. Since it is generally known that God is a spirit, but there is still a problem to be solved because of the way image and likeness are included in describing man in relationship to the Creator, bearing in mind that a spirit cannot normally be described. We must therefore look beyond the spirit to see the likeness that is implied in the scriptures. It is only in doing so that we can arrive at a situation that is favorable to us humans. Without missing words, image and likeness here may include God's attributes and qualities which are mentioned in many parts of the Bible. Psalm 92, Jeremiah 32:17, Psalm 147:5, Psalm 139, 7-10, 1 Peter 1:16, 1 John 4:8, I Corinthians 1:9, Deuteronomy 32:4, Psalm 103:8, Malachi 3:6, and Psalm 115:3. Goodness is a general attitude in the following verses: Psalm 34:8, Psalm 105, Nahum 1:7, Psalm 145:9, Mark 10:18. In practice, it is impossible for man to exhibit all God's attributes and qualities, which denote the level of perfection we can never reach because of our wrong use of our free will. And for this reason, we are deprived from reaching the utmost in performing many of the tasks in our daily activities. That is also why our lives are short and painful. Of course, there is no single person who will choose a long and painful life, as seen in people who commit suicide. In discussing our image and likeness of God, we must not forget that as physical beings, we are what are usually described as the microcosm of God, who is the macrocosm. We are the microcosm, and God is the macrocosm. There is now a new knowledge which says that God is everything which makes possible his eminence and transcendent, which can never be attained by humans while we are on earth, but when our soul are absorbed in him, and no longer seen as different from him, we are no individual, but a part of the macrocosm. Going back to the process of creation, we find that the Creator heard to breathe into his nostrils, to make him a living soul on earth, which makes us in his likeness and even image. This means that even though humans and animals as well as plant breathe, what is contained in human breathe is different from what other creature breath in and out. One significant phenomenon that most people may not observe is that human beings evolve. Animals and plants, as well as other creatures, remain the same over the sanctuaries. This means that the behavior of an animal 100 years ago remains the same as that of the animal today, except where the animal has been tamed, are altered through genetic engineering or cloning. This is a wide field of study which is receiving only a mention here because of its relevance to our discussion. The The very important point that is being made here is that we humans have not been about to exploit our full potentials as those made in the image and likeness of our Creator, and thereby making ourselves finite and impotent. We have rejected that image and likeness, which our Creator has generously passed on to us. Only recently, our scientist, now working on the history of the universe, told the world that our ignorance of what makes our universe is not less than 99%, meaning that our knowledge of the universe is less than 1%. In fact, they are not sure or cannot say whether our universe has a beginning or an end. Most of what they say is speculative. What can be said here in this connection is that we are barely touching on the surface of the potentials that have remained untouched on understanding the image and likeness of our Creator, for reasons that have to do with imitating Jesus Christ as we should do. We must change our values and ideals to fall in line with those of our Creator. If we can do it by fulfilling our destiny, the world will definitely become a better place than it is now. In Genesis 6, our Creator lamented or expressed regret for making man because of the evil in his heart. This was his assertion 100 of thousands of years ago. However, evil has been on the increase since then. No genuine effort is being made to mitigate this high level of evil prevalence on earth, despite the humility of birth and sacrifice of our Lord Jesus Christ thousands of years ago. We must not allow the devil to be on the winning side, because we have the power to push him off balance and conquer him. This chapter must be concluded with good news coming from our scientist, that behavior, which is the leading cause of evil, can be altered through biochemical mechanism within easy reach. I therefore urge that we listen to our scientist and include their methods in what we do as we proclaim the message of salvation to the entire world.